Good morning, everyone. It's Monday. Apologies for not getting an update out to you this weekend, as I was hoping to do that to report my findings on AMC stock, which is a stock that I've been very disappointed with all the amount of manipulation that's been going on that stock. Especially disappointed with the CEO, Adam Aron. There were so many things that I found regarding the CEO extremely controversial, but amongst the information that I found, there are things that I feel I would probably be putting myself in danger if I reported it, so I'm not even going there. But anyway, what I wanted to comment on the stock and why I felt compelled to report on Friday was, as I've been reporting, AMC is going to be driven down further, which it has. So anyone who's been following me is not surprised that it's being driven down, and I still hold to my thesis that it's going to be driven down to the $2.50 to $3 level. But what I found concerning on Friday was a number of things. I saw an extraordinarily high volume of shares being bought in the dark markets, obviously in the shadow markets, or whatever you want to call it. But I also saw an extraordinarily high volume of shorts on the stock for expiration on Friday. So I was very concerned that if anyone's watching my channel, I wanted to start warning people to be careful, because for Friday I saw a very high likelihood of a squeeze. The conditions were just very, very scary on Friday. I see a similar setup for this week. The short interest is still rising, and I caution anyone who's considering shorting the stock to be very, very careful. Again, I still hold to my thesis that it's going to be driven down further, but you've got to be very careful with conditions, with what's going on. I did a little research to see if I could find any news, and sure enough, within about 30 minutes, there was a filing on the SEC from BlackRock. BlackRock is compelled to report, or any company is compelled to report to the SEC when they cross a threshold of 5% of the float on any security, which BlackRock crossed around the September timeframe, and they're reporting it now. Now, they have completed a purchase of 7.2% of the float as of Friday, at least as of the Friday reporting, but they started this purchase in September when AMC was trading at the $5.13, $5.15 range. That tells me a couple of things. Okay, that a lot of these shares that were being purchased off the market, or at least in the black markets, which is what I call them, was going on, and it was from BlackRock. They now own over 26 million shares of the security. So that, number one, tells me that they feel that AMC at the $5.15 range is undervalued, and they plan on holding. Now, this is the 7.2% is smack in the middle of the amount that they would typically buy and hold on any security long term. And one example of a stock that they purchased around these price ranges was AMD, so the semiconductor company. And that stock, as you know, has 100x since then. So does that mean AMC is going to 100x? Well, if there are a number of videos that I had on my channel from the last time AMC squeezed, where I valued AMC. Obviously, they've got to get out of debt. Okay, first of all, let me preface this by saying this. AMC has a lot of debt. But as an entertainment company, and I put a whole thesis out. Maybe I'll repost that old video. I was right. I was right when I announced way back in the 2009-2010 timeframe that AMC would hit $76, which it did, and even theorized that AMC was going to hit 120, 140. But at that time, the markets instituted a whole bunch of shenanigans to prevent stocks from trading freely. Okay, so manipulation is one thing, fair value is another. Did AMC have tons of debt at that time frame? Yes, but a great deal of my pricing AMC at those extraordinarily, ridiculously high price tags was because I theorized that AMC would get themselves out of debt thanks to the apes, which in large part they have been doing. But I did not anticipate Adam Aron's crookedness in screwing investors. And that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not going to mince words. A lot of what Adam Aron did, in fact, screw investors. Okay, so he punished investors for investing in the stock by issuing more stock. I'm not going to go there. Anyway, I see a similar setup for this week, so I'm just going to caution investors to be careful shorting this stock this week. I think it's going to be very, very, very dangerous. Do I still hold to my thesis that it's going to be driven down to the $253 range? Yes. Okay. You can hate me if you want to. I have a myriad of reasons why I think this is going to happen. If I have time, I don't have a whole lot of time, and I don't have a good setup at home to do these videos right now, since I recently went through a move interstate, and I'm not settled yet. The way you can help me with these videos is always to like the videos if you're finding them helpful, if you've made money off of the price action that happened over these past few weeks, which I have been very firm on, and so far I've been correct. It's been driven down, down, down. Please hit the like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me continue. So this week, I want to caution anyone who is shorting this stock to be extremely careful. I would caution anyone not to sell shorts on this stock. Will there be price action to the downside throughout the week? Yes. But it's still very, very risky this week to short it. This week. I announced that for Friday. You saw it was teetering. It was teetering precariously on a squeeze side. And you saw at the very end of the day, people were buying up the stock and it was starting to rise up, but they held it up until the very end of the day, so it didn't get too dangerous at the end of the week, at the end of the day, but it was getting there. So be very careful shorting the stock this week, because it is still a very real risk of squeezing or going through a series of squeezes this week. If I had to take a wild guess, I would say that it's going to go through price action that will scare shorts probably twice this week. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes through some price action today on the upside that may scare shorts, but it will be driven down, or at least controlled, and possibly again towards Thursday time frame, and they will probably save any ammo until Friday. But be really careful shorting the stock this week. Next week, I think it will be driven back down again. These are just opinions based on what I see on the market right now. Just be very careful this week if you're shorting the stock. Be really, really careful. By next week, I think They're going to attack the stock very heavily to bring it down to my target range of $2.50 to $3. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice in any way. This is the opinions of a dumb engineer on the internet who has no financial advice credentials. I'm just basing my opinions on my own fact finding, my own hunches. I do not have any insider information on the stock. I will be trading it accordingly. I personally will be trading in favor of the price rising this week. Today, throughout the week, I will be watching it very carefully. I will be taking profits. I am not betting the house on this. I will likely not bet more than $100 or $200 on the stock. I will likely place call options on the stock. But again, I am limiting my loss to about $100 to $200 on the stock. So I will probably bet that this stock could possibly touch $5.50 this week. That's my bet. There's a good chance that I will lose the bet. Okay, I want to be very clear, but just based on the fact that a lot of people are counting on this going down, I'm going to be a contrarian this week and say that the opposite's going to happen. Do I think it's going to go $6 and above? Probably not. But I do think that there's a possibility, a slight possibility, that it could suddenly rocket up to the $5 to $50 range just for a little while. I just want it to go up there long enough for me to cash out if it does. But again, I am personally not going to bet any more than $100 to $200 on this price move. Again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do not listen to me. I'm just posting out my 2 cents. Thanks for watching, and again, if you found this interesting, hit the like button, subscribe, comment, and good luck. Be careful. Take profits. Thanks.